Hello, my dear thinking students of Advanced Russian. How are you doing today? I hope you have lots of love in your heart. We continue our super interesting course today. Look at the screen, please. 5 запрещенных картин русских художников. 5 banned pictures of Russian painters. Please open your printed materials. I hope you already have it printed. If you don't, you have the link below this video to this article. And right now, we are at the picture of Vladimir Makovsky. And as I told you the last time, do not confuse him with Vladimir Mayakovsky, the poet. That's a different guy, a painter. And he wrote 2 pictures that were banned. Ходынка и после ходынки Ваганьковское кладбище. And last time we talked about this picture, the upper one, called Ходынка. Ходынка was a place in Russia where lots of people died in the stampede during the coronation of Nicholas II towards the end of the 19th century. So, and we talked about it the last time. And our last sentence was «Жертвами той трагедии только по официальным данным стали 1389 человек». So the victims of that tragedy, only according to the official data, were 1,389 people. And you remember last time we said that those people came to receive promised gifts, and then they thought it wouldn't be enough for them, so they started to kind of push each other and try to get to the distribution points, and that's what happened. Now today we are, and then we have this next picture. We haven't talked about it yet, and it's called «После ходынки Ваганьковское кладбище». So after после ходынки, after ходынка, after what happened to this place. And we also mentioned the last time that кладбище was cemetery. Ваганьковское кладбище is a big cemetery in Moscow. So Makovsky is the painter, and it goes like that. Гибель людей потрясла Маковского. So потрясла means shocked. Please underline in your printed materials and write above that shocked. And гибель is death. It is very similar to the word смерть. But гибель usually relates to something that is unnatural. Like if someone dies naturally, we usually say смерть. So гибель людей потрясла Маковского. So the death of people shocked Makovsky, the painter. Изначально художник должен был написать картину по итогам этого мероприятия. И после трагедии так и сделал. So please underline the word изначально, and that's initially. Должен был was supposed to. Написать картину. So написать, usually that would be to write or to write something down, right? But написать in relation to pictures, it might also mean to paint. So I'm just curious if you knew that. So написать картину would be to paint a picture. По итогам means regarding the по итогам basically means after or following something. So therefore, по итогам этого мероприятия, итоги basically means like results. So по итогам means according to the results, but in this case it just means after something. Мероприятие, event. So therefore, this sentence starts, look. Изначально художник должен был написать картину по итогам этого мероприятия. Initially, the painter was supposed to paint a picture according to the results or following that event. И после трагедии так и сделал. So так и сделал. He did that thing, exactly that thing. So you can underline. It often goes as one expression. In general, так и plus verb, it means that he did, like the meaning of verb, exactly that. So так и, meaning he did exactly that. If it were так и сказал, that would be said exactly that. Так и приготовил, prepared exactly that, or exactly that way. You understand? So now look how we will translate this whole sentence. Изначально художник должен был написать картину по итогам этого мероприятия. И после трагедии так и сделал. Initially, the painter was supposed to paint a picture according to the results of that, or after, or following that event. And after the tragedy, he did exactly that. Следующие 5 лет он работал над картинами «Ходынка» и «После ходынки» Ваганьковское кладбище. So, следующее means the following. Therefore, следующие 5 лет would be the following 5 years. Now, работал над, he worked on. So, what are they saying here? Следующие 5 лет он работал над картинами «Ходынка» и «После ходынки» Ваганьковское кладбище. The following 5 years, he worked on the pictures «Ходынка» and after ходынка, Ваганьковское cemetery. На картинах изображались жертвы давки. So what does it say? На картинах, on the pictures, изображались, that's passive. Изображались means were depicted. Изображались, it comes from изображать, to depict. So were depicted. Жертвы means the victims. Davki comes from davka, which is like a stampede or kind of a crowd crash. So, на картинах изображались жертвы давки. On the pictures were depicted the victims of the crowd crash. В 1901 году Ходынку сняли с выставки передвижников по решению цензуры. So look, передвижников comes from передвижники, and the historical background of this word is that it was a name of a group of Russian painters. Now, передвижники comes from передвигать, which is to move. And the philosophy of this group of painters was that they would move from one place to another and expose the art to simple people, not just to the people from very big cities, like Moscow or St. Petersburg. So therefore, they would just move from one place to another, showing their art. Now, сняли с, it means they took out of. Сняли с, took out of. Выставки comes from выставка, which is exhibition. По решению, according to the decision. Решение means decision. Цензура, censorship. So, в 1901 году Ходынку сняли с выставки передвижников по решению цензуры. In 1901, Ходынку, like this upper picture, they took Ходынка, they took that picture from the exhibition of this group of movers, painters movers, but according to the decision of the censorship. You understand, right? So, сняли с выставки передвижников, they took it out of the exhibition of this group called передвижники, the movers. От московского генерал-губернатора художнику передали записку. Картине еще не время. Она является солью, посыпанной на свежую рану. So, генерал-губернатор, we translate that as general governor, and it was a very high governmental post in the Tsarist Russia. So it was a guy basically who represented the Tsar. So, от московского генерал-губернатора художнику передали записку. So from the Moscow general governor to the painter, they handed, передать means to hand something. They handed a note. Записка means note. So передали записку. There is no subject here. It's like they. In English, that it will be they handed the note. So от московского генерал-губернатора художнику передали записку. From the Moscow general governor to the painter, they handed a note. Sorry for the bad English. Картине еще не время. So to the picture, still, the English won't be proper here, but you will get the structure. That's more important. Картине means to the picture. So to the picture, still no time. Не время. Meaning, in the normal English, the time hasn't come yet for this picture. So картине еще не время. So to the picture, still no time. Она является солью. So является means is. Она является солью. It, она, relates to the picture. It is a salt. Sorry, it is salt. Like salt. Посыпанной на свежую рану. Посыпанной comes from посыпать, which is spread something. When you talk about some kind of powder, that's посыпать. You cannot use посыпать. You cannot use посыпать about a liquid. That's about a powder. It means spread a powder. In this case, salt. На свежую рану. So рана means wound. Свежая means fresh. So this general governor said, the time hasn't come yet for the picture. Она является солью, посыпанной на свежую рану. It is a salt spread on a fresh wound. You know, when you spread salt on a fresh wound, it really hurts, right? So this general governor didn't want people to grieve even more, probably. So now please listen to this whole paragraph. And today I have to finish soon because I have a lesson with my students. I teach different languages, by the way, including Russian, but not only. So if you want help with your Russian, please contact me. You have my email below. But now listen. Гибель людей потрясла Маковского. Изначально художник должен был написать картину по итогам этого мероприятия. И после трагедии так и сделал. Следующие 5 лет он работал над картинами «Ходынка» и «После Ходынки» Ваганьковское кладбище. На картинах изображались жертвы давки. В 1901 году Ходынку сняли с выставки передвижников по решению цензуры. От московского генерал-губернатора художнику передали записку. Картине еще не время. Она является солью, посыпанной на свежую рану. Okay, guys, thank you very much. You're great. We'll see each other at the next lesson. You're advancing well. The next picture is «Что есть истина?» What is truth? Very interesting. Bye-bye.